The demise of Omegle is a good thing, but it does not matter. Initially birthed with good intentions, the platform spawned into the breeding ground for the internet's worst. With the loosest moderation, Omegle became the target of a lawsuit for pairing an 11-year-old with a 30-year-old. This resulted in long-term abuse and the ultimate shutdown of the site. Although it initially sounds like a victory, it was like cutting off a head of a hydra, as it would simply come back in multiples. For those unaware, Omegle was a website that would connect two strangers together. You were able to put some interest in there so you could find people that were, well interested in the same things. They offered a text chat and the now infamous video chat. For most people, you go raw into the video chat and enter. From its creation, this was supposed to be a place where two strangers from different cultures could connect and learn about each other, but it quickly devolved into something much darker. To enter the video section, all you had to do was click a button that said video. The website warned that you had to be over 13 years old to use this website, but this warning is as good as the porn sites. There was no checking in the slightest. You know what? It's actually worse than the porn sites because at least there you have to click a little checkbox. Honestly, if you did not experience where the story is going, you probably heard of what comes next. Let me explain with a story of my own. Born in the late 90s, it was pretty standard for everyone to have a PC at their house, and some kids even had laptops to themselves by middle school. Among my friends, some of the most popular websites were YouTube, LiveLeak, and of course Omegle. The thing was that Omegle was a bit more special than the others. YouTube was in its infancy, so there was not too much great content. LiveLeak was pretty cool to get some reactions from your friends, but Omegle, that was an event. A bunch of us would group up at a friend's house with some lax parents and the party was on. It was pretty exhilarating to be with your boys, talking to a bunch of strangers. There were a lot of groups just like us going through it. We would exchange sophisticated conversation regarding how we would satisfy each other's mothers and debated who could do it the best. Besides that, there were a whole lot of dicks and a whole lot of people jerking off for us. There was another group of people that were definitely our favorite. Sometimes we'd find a group of girls similar to us and a lot of awkward conversations would occur. However, it was not always that awkward, and there was a reason that this was our favorite. Some girls would show some interest and start a friendship off the video platform. There would also be some flashing, and girls for young boys was the best thing the internet could be used for. The thing was though, that although there were some good times, there were also some older women. They would use our naivety and get some of my friends to flash them and sometimes even build a longer term connection. At the time, it just seemed dope as hell that they were talking to an older girl, especially sexually. Well, this is the story of how some of my buddies got groomed by some older women on Omegle. Anyways, we were just one friend group in one school doing this. We witnessed a bunch of sexual videos and images. And did I mention that we weren't even 13 at this point in time? Yeah, we saw some younger girls on the platform too, and we also saw some older ones that loved seeing us even more. Just using the math of the internet, there was also a lot more guys than women. I know for a fact that there were guys lurking there all day waiting to find some girls to prey on. And the reason I'm so confident in saying this is because I was that guy. I'm just joking. It's because there was a giant lawsuit that recently concluded. In the suit, it alleged that Omegle matched an 11-year-old with a man in his 30s. He got her to do sexually explicit things and continued to abuse her from 2014 until at least 2020. This lawsuit did just bring down this predator, but it was ultimately what brought down the platform altogether. Omegle tried defending themselves by saying that they did not match them together, as it was just random. That is almost a fair argument until you think about it just a little bit. They are literally the website that matched them together at the end of the day. I experienced it and so many people in my age group did as well. They claimed that they had moderation and AI moderation way beyond others, but it was still piss poor and led to countless abuses. Besides just this case, there was a case of a 21-year-old who abused over 1,000 girls ranging from ages 7 to 17 on Omegle. The craziest part is that this is all in a 2-year span from 2020 to 2022. There's over one girl a day that this dude was abusing, and he ended up facing 16 years in jail for this. If someone could find over 1,000 girls in just 2 years that were underage to abuse them, what was the moderation doing? I would rather lie and say that I didn't have any moderation at all if it was this shitty. Although Omegle has finally fallen after years of abuse, it does not really matter. There are countless content creators that are using Omegle. This type of content's demographic is primarily children, and since the COVID era, they have been blowing up. It makes these sites seem like a lot of fun for their fans that is all cut up to show the best parts. In turn, it causes an influx into these platforms and even more children than ever. Omegle is gone, but people are already moving on to different competitors. Although Omegle had lax moderation, if any, these other sites genuinely have less than them. Omegle was the OG, so it was almost forced to pretend to try. Until these new sites gain infamy for something awful, I don't think any of them will change anytime soon. There are literal porn categories of people hopping on these apps and getting people to do sexual shit. There's a huge demand for this type of content, and the influx of a younger audience, what do you think is going to happen again? I do want to say that it's insanely hard to moderate people on websites like this, but the fact that none of these websites really try is scary. I do not know what the solution is, but I'm also not the one running these pedo rings. Hold yourself accountable if you're going to make a platform that leads to immense anguish. You should hold yourself accountable too and subscribe to Board for watching this whole video. Leave a like if you enjoyed and all that fun stuff. Peace out and adios.